Got rejected 27 times until a stranger's note on my desk turned my life around. The rejection email popped up while I was still staring at the last one I hadn't even closed yet. And in that moment, it felt like the room got smaller, like all the air had been taken out and replaced with silence. That said, "You are not good enough again." I counted it without meaning to. 27 rejections in 3 months, and every single one sounded the same. "We regret to inform you, we have decided to move forward with other candidates," and I started believing maybe they were all right. I had been chasing the same dream since college, a stable job, something that made my parents proud, something that proved I wasn't wasting my life, but every morning looked the same. Wake up, apply, wait, hope, and then watch it fall apart by evening. My savings were almost gone. My confidence was already gone, and I stopped telling people how it was going because I didn't want to hear that tone in their voice, the one that sounds like sympathy, but feels like doubt. The worst part was not even the rejection, it was the waiting. Checking my email every 10 minutes refreshing. Like somehow that would change the outcome. And every time my phone buzzed, my heart would jump only to drop harder than before. I started questioning everything. My skills, my degree, my decisions, even my worth. And I remember sitting at my desk one night thinking, maybe this is just who I am. Someone who almost makes it but never actually does. The next morning, I dragged myself to a small shared workspace because I couldn't stand being alone anymore. I opened my laptop pretending to be productive when honestly I was just trying not to quit completely, and that's when I saw it. A small folded piece of paper sitting right on top of my keyboard. I knew it wasn't mine, and for a second I thought someone left it by mistake, but something about it felt intentional. I opened it slowly, and it had just one sentence written in simple handwriting. "You are closer than you think. Just don't stop now." No name, no explanation, nothing else, just that line. And for some reason, it hit harder than any motivational speech I had ever heard because it felt like someone saw exactly where I was without me saying a word. I looked around trying to figure out who left it, but no one was paying attention. Everyone was busy in their own world. And I realized maybe I didn't need to know who wrote it. Maybe it wasn't about them. Maybe it was about me deciding whether I was going to believe it or not. That day, instead of applying to 10 random jobs, I focused on fixing everything I knew I had been rushing. I rewrote my resume from scratch. I practiced interviews like I actually cared. I reached out to people instead of waiting silently. And for the first time in weeks, I felt like I had some control again. A week later, I got an interview, then another one, and then something I hadn't seen in months. An email that didn't start with regret, it started with congratulations. And I just stared at it because it didn't feel real. Not after everything that came before it. When I went back to that workspace to process everything, I looked for that note again. But it was gone, like it had never been there. And that's when it hit me, maybe that stranger wasn't random. Maybe they noticed me showing up every day, even when I was clearly struggling. Maybe they just decided to remind me of something I had already forgotten about myself. So now I keep thinking about that moment because nothing around me actually changed overnight. I still had the same skills, the same experience, the same situation. The only thing that changed was I didn't stop when I was closest to giving up. And honestly, I still don't know who left that note on my desk. But I keep wondering if I had quit that day like I almost did, would I ever have known how close I really was?